You know, like he say, if he beat Germonta, no, everybody's gonna say, yeah, it's too small,
Right.
and this and that. So it's the same thing. I respect Crawford. He's a good fighter, but we're not different weight classes.
That's a mega fight, though, Canelo.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, that's kind of like the last big mega fight out there, right?
Him, what you gonna say?
Yeah,
That's too small.
right.
That's too small.
Well, you
Great
Great
talent.
fighter.
So fight
Great
him.
talent.
fight him. Table is completely off the table.
I can go down.
He said, I'm not going. So if Bud comes up to 168, you'd consider it.
Yeah, why not?
You'd do it.
Yeah.
168.
160.
What up, what up, what up? It's your boy, back again. Marlo Knows Basketball and Marlo Knows Boxing. Back at y'all with another one. Canelo then went back on his word, man. He done went back on his word. And I'm seeing a lot of boxing fans that are happy. Oh, Terrence Crawford was too small. Weight classes are there for a reason. He's too small. We don't want to see Canelo fight Terrence Crawford. No, that's code words. That's code words, y'all. That's code words. They speaking in code. It's not they don't want to see Canelo fight Bud Crawford. They don't want to see Canelo lose to Bud Crawford. Because if they were to fight, that's what would happen. They're hating on Bud Crawford's chasing greatness. But Canelo's come out and said, once again, said that Bud Crawford's too small. Even though he went on the Breakfast Club, shout out to Charlamagne, DJ Envy, and all of them, and said that if Bud Crawford came to 168, he would fight him. Now he's saying that he's too small and he'll never fight him. And they're running with it. A lot of his fans and, and people that just hate on Bud Crawford in general are running with the too small narrative. But there's something that I believe could shut all of that down. At the end of the day, there's not a lot of fights that would boost Bud Crawford's legacy or boost his bank account as well, other than Canelo Alvarez. I do believe that Bud Crawford shouldn't fight anybody else but Canelo, except for one other man, and that's if Canelo does what he's supposed to do and fight David Benavidez. Now, I'm picking Canelo to beat David Benavidez. I feel like David Benavidez has a really good chance to beat Canelo, but if I had to bet money, I'm picking Canelo, man. I just feel like the experience factor is too much. I feel like Canelo, he has the smarts in the ring to figure out David Benavidez and take him down. But if David Benavidez is able to beat Canelo, then that should be the guy that Bud Crawford goes after. And Canelo keeps saying that Bud is too small, and all of these so-called boxing fans that don't know the history of boxing and don't know the history of people like Roberto Duran moving up in weight to face Sugar Ray Leonard and beating him, or Roy Jones Jr. moving up in weight, moving up about 40 pounds in the size of his opponent and facing John Ruiz and beating him, and Manny Pacquiao coming from like 100 pounds going all the way up to 150 to beat Antonio Margarito. They don't know the history of boxing, that just because you're small doesn't mean that you can't go up and beat a bigger fighter if you're better than them. And I feel like Bud Crawford is better than Canelo Alvarez. And they know it too. Everybody that's saying they don't want to see that fight happen, they know it too, because they know Canelo would lose. And they don't want to see Canelo lose to Bud Crawford. That's all that is. That's all that is. But bottom line, Canelo, if he loses to David Benavidez, then the game plan should switch for Bud Crawford as well, and he should switch his game plan to David Benavidez. I just got so much belief in Bud Crawford. I feel like he can beat both these guys, man. I feel like he's that talented. And they know it too, man. That's why Canelo doesn't want to see this fight happen, man. This performance scared the whole boxing world. Nobody has ever seen a top 5 pound-for-pound fighter get dominated in such a fashion like this. Nobody expected this to happen. This was worse. This was actually worse than what Evander Holyfield did to Mike Tyson. People were shocked by that too. But Evander Holyfield had to use headbutts. Bud Crawford was using all fists. And Canelo is scared. He's scared. He saw that performance, and he himself was contemplating fighting Spence because he thought Spence was a great fighter. Nobody saw Spence getting dismantled like this. And Canelo was watching this, and he's like, oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. Don't call me out. Don't call me out. That's what he's thinking when he's watching this. Bud Crawford, don't call me out. That's what he's thinking. That too small narrative, it means Canelo's too scared. But like I said before, I got the remedy. I got the remedy for that. I got the remedy for that too small narrative. I got the remedy. Canelo's not the only name at 168. David Benavidez ain't either. You know what I'm saying? Bud Crawford can fight a guy that both these guys have fought already. If Bud Crawford's too small, he shouldn't be able to beat him. And I'm talking about Caleb Plant. I'm talking about Caleb Plant. Now, if Bud Crawford calls out Caleb Plant and he gets a fight signed, sealed, and delivered with Caleb Plant while he waits for the winner of Canelo and David Benavidez, and that's if Canelo doesn't duck David Benavidez. If he announces that he's fighting somebody else other than David, then Canelo's just scared of everybody. He just scared of everybody. Just go ahead and retire, boy. But if he does fight David Benavidez, in the meantime, in between time, Bud Crawford should go to 168 and challenge Caleb Plant. And if he dominates Caleb Plant, like I know he would, all that Bud Crawford's too small and I don't want to fight him because he's too small, all that whole narrative goes out the window. That goes out the window. If he dominates Caleb Plant and gets him up out of there, Canelo still says Bud Crawford's too small. That means Canelo is scared. And why not fight Caleb Plant? I originally thought maybe he should fight Jermall Charlo, Big Charlo. Originally, I thought he should fight Jermall Charlo. But why fight the guy that got slapped instead of fighting the guy that slapped him?
Did you ever grab me by my motherfucking face like that? Did you ever grab me by my motherfucking face?